Okay, let's go over the supplies I used for this project. First of all, I went and got a reference photo from Unsplash. This website has free images, and I just got it for inspiration. I just typed in spring flower under free images, and this one came up. I think it is by J. Lee. So that is good to know. It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. And I just wanted a reference photo of how to draw a flower, but I took inspiration and I put in a blue background and just, you know, did a simple flower. And I was real excited about this project because I'm getting kind of bored with just plain watercolor. So, and pen and ink, you know, it's just, I'm just getting bored with it. So I did use my Rosa Gallery paints, watercolors, the botanical set. I don't know if I've gone over this set. If you'd like me to do a video on this set, I will. Let me know. And I went through my stash and got some colored pencils. These are Prismacolor color pencils. They're really good. They go down like a dream. And, you know, I wouldn't get any other color pencils if you have these. Use any color pencil that you like. Shop your stash. And then I got some Liquitex Acrylic White and my Princeton Aqua Elite brush for my watercolor, a pencil eraser. I got my Posca pen out just in case. My 0.5 micron. And then for my acrylic, when I went to put my acrylic down, I didn't want to put my good watercolor brush. So I just dug out this little craft brush. Crafter's Choice Royal Lane Nickel from any big box store or Amazon that you can get. So you might just dig one out of your stash and use it. So now we'll go on to the next step. So I failed to mention that I am using my Arteza sketchbook. It is a fabulous sketchbook to practice your techniques in and just have a good time in. So I recommend this sketchbook for everyday use and to fill it, and so you won't be so precious about your work. So I was just playing today and I thought I'm going to do this little spring flower, and I just started grabbing different things from my studio and seeing what I came up with. So first of all, let's just do one over here. Well, let's just turn the page. Turn the page and do one over here. I'll get that red tie out of the way. And I took a straight edge. You can take a ruler. I just took the edge of this circle template and made a square with my pencil so I could erase the lines if I need to. I'll just get this done. I didn't want to do it over the whole page. I wanted to contain it somewhat, give it a frame. You can tape. You could use blue tape or whatever, or washi tape to go around the edges and protect. I just didn't. I just thought, well, I'm just going to make this. Yeah, I'm just going to make that box. So at the end, I went around it with a micron pen, and you can do that now if you want, or you can do it later. And I'm going to erase that little mark. So I just went from I printed it out, but I didn't trace it or anything. You could put transfer paper underneath there. You could print this out and put it on there. I didn't, but I could. I just drew it. I just zoomed in on it on my phone and I just drew the shapes. So I just went in, and the center part, I started from the center and just made like it's kind of like an upside down triangle. And then I started with this you know, like I said, go on Unsplash and print it out in black and white and then trace it onto your paper if you want. It's not a big deal. Okay, to start this picture, I'm going to use cobalt blue. I believe it's cobalt. Yes, it is. Cobalt blue right here in my Rosa Gallery paint kit. And I'm just going to do a sky background. And I'm going to use my number 16 Princeton Neptune. I might have to go to a smaller brush. And I'm just going to wet the background so I can get an even This brush may be a little too soft. Let me get another brush. Let me see about this Famui. This Famui brush might be all right. It's got a little bit more snap to it. Let's get some water there. And I'm just going to go around and get it all wet so I can drop in. And I might go ahead and get my mix. So it'll be ready for me. When I'm ready to drop it in. You can use cerulean blue. You can use French ultramarine. I just happen to have cobalt in there, so I thought I will use that. It's a fairly neutral, and it makes a pretty sky. I like cobalt for skies. So I'm just kind of staying in the lines and going around the petals with my water. And getting the whole thing wet. This Famui is a great brush for doing things like this. It's got a nice point on it. Famui sent me these brushes. I really like them. And they're so affordable. Just go around the petals and outline them with your water. And if you get a little color on there, it's no big deal. It'll just add to the interest of the picture. It's like pollination or something. Okay. I think I got it all. You can tip your paper and look and see the shine on it. And that's when it's ready to just drop in. I did get some on. Make it as light or as dark as you want. I think I might go a little darker this time than I did in the other picture. And I'm just taking my time. Just take your time. Your paper's wet, and that gives you just a little bit more time to work with your background. And it's kind of nice to get a little bit darker around the edge of the flower. So there'll be contrast. All right. Okay, we're going to let it dry. Okay, so now I have my background. It's all dry, mostly dry. So I'm going to start putting in my center of the flower, and I'm just going to take a little bit of lemon yellow because I feel like that's the lightest value that's in the flower. Everything on top of that's going to be darker. So I'm just going to drop a little bit in there, and I'm just doing that wet on dry. I lost my paper towel again. Wet on dry. And I'm going to lift a little bit and make that a little bit transparent. These Rosa Gallery paints are amazing. Now I'm going to just tap it with my paper towel and kind of put a highlight in there. So let's zoom in so you can see. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of Madder Rose or any pinky cool red you have, and I'm going to put a lot of water in it. And actually, I think this mix I have on here, let me bring it over so you can see, has a little bit of white in it. I just wanted it to be a little bit pastel. So, but to make it more pastel, I'm just going to add a lot of water and get a real diluted mixture. Because I'm going to layer this up. Okay. And I'm just going to paint on the flowers pink. Now I'm not going to worry about keeping the petals separated because I am going to do that with my colored pencil and other mixed media supplies. It's looking pretty already. I love mixing a little bit of white just to give my flower a little bit of pastel. Oh, I missed a spot where I should have put some blue right in there. Oh well, we can do that later. Give yourself a little bit of grace during this period of time. This is what we call the ugly phase, although I think it's looking kind of pretty already. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit of darker value and just drop it in right here at the bottom. Just a little bit of darker value. And it doesn't take much, just while it's still wet. That's pretty. And while it's still damp, I'm going to come out and just put some lines in there. Just to shift that value just a little bit. I might even go back to my picture and kind of look and see where those are. This is darker up here. This is darker over here. It's darker right there. Darker right here. Okay. While we're doing that, let's go fix that little area where I was supposed to have some blue. Got blue in there. But that's actually not blue. That is a light green. So we're going to do that. Let's put this spring green in here. All right, well, let's let that dry and we'll come back to it. Okay, so I am looking at my picture here. So I went and I picked up a color that I thought was near this, and I'm going to come in and just, with a lavender color pencil, and go around the edges. This is going to define it. I'm going to go around these edges. I love doing this. define that one. And this is just my first layer. Of definition. Gonna come in here. I love doing color pencil with mixed media and watercolor. This petal kind of is coming around here. And we'll come in this one. And come over here. Put a little dark there. Put a little dark here. And a little bit of dark here, like this petal's folding in. All right, so let's stop there with the lavender. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this pink one. This color is, it just says pink, rose. And I'm going to bring in some of that and kind of blend those together. These Prismacolors. Go down like a dream. And I'm seeing some white edges where my background didn't get totally up to the flower. So I'm just filling that in. I'm just kind of going from the center out and the top down. That paper's buckling a little bit. And going in here. Now remember that flower was really light. And we're getting darker and darker. We're going to fix that. I kind of like how that looks. Okay, so let's go. Let's work on that center a little bit. I'm going to go in with some, this is yellow ochre. I got to sharpen this pencil. If anybody knows the best pencil sharpener for color pencils, let me know in the comments, because I'm using just a cheap one and I got a good point on that one though. This is a General's that came in a pencil kit, but I need a good one. Okay, so I'm really zooming in on that center. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of color there. leaving that lemon to show through. I think that's a cadmium lemon in that Rosa Gallery set. And I'm going to kind of make lines to show that texture. All right, now I'm going to go in with some orange. And this is called Spanish orange. It's just a little bit orangier. Just give it some texture. Just make stippling marks. It's really pretty. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some red. This is called Poppy Red. And there's little stems. Like little, they're like little. And the further down at the bottom it gets, the more close together they are. Okay. And there is some yellow on top of that, but I'm not going to go that much into detail. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to take a white colored pencil. Look, it's coming together. It's really coming together. So now I'm going to take a white colored pencil and I'm going to blend these lines and kind of burnish it. I'm going to have to order more white color pencil. I'm going to have to sharpen. And that waxy base will blend them lines into the tooth of the paper. This is the best color pencil for blending. So easy. If this hurts your hand, you know, you don't have to do it very hard because these Prismacolor pencils are so soft. I love mixed media. Let me know in the comments below what color pencil brand is your favorite. Because if it's not Prisma, you know, I might want to try some. I just have these on hand, and believe it or not, I have them stored upright in a Cascade container. That's the perfect way to store them for me. All right, so there's that part. I think I'm going to go around and give this a little bit more roundness by putting some additional marks on it and just make that a little bit rounder. All right, now this had a little bit of yellow color underneath the, I don't know what that's called. And then I'm going to take that green and make a steeple. I don't know if that's the right green. And we'll start with that. All right, so I'm going to go in with this sap green light. That's a little bit more of a natural. I'm going to come down here. And then I'm going to give things with this indigo. Give it a little bit of definition. All right, that looks good as it is, but I'm going to add more to it. I'm going to take some of this Liquitex, and I have a little box here I'm using as a palette. So I'm going to take some, just a little dropper full, acrylic ink. You don't have to do this. You can use gouache. You can use this P.H. Martin's bleed proof white. I'm going to take a little bit of that rose madder, just a little bit, and mix it in. Mix it into this. Just a little bit on the side here. And make it a lighter value a little bit at a time. It's kind of chunky, but that's all right. So, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to just put it in here. That's pretty. Just a little bit lighter value in there. And then I'm even going to get a little bit of bright white. And put some in there. I love how that came together. Said you can use gouache. This is a Liquitex acrylic. It won't move. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, let's see how that goes. I'll put a little bit of highlight down here. On the stem. And maybe even in here on, I'm getting fussy with the details, but that's okay. All right. There we go. Might even take a little bit of that indigo. I'm wanting to dull this down a little bit. So I might take some of that indigo and just dull that down, and maybe go in here and put some shadow. Get some under there. Just a little bit. It doesn't take much. Just a little bit of definition. You could work on it for a long time and define it more and more. Maybe go back over it with the white pencil and kind of blend it in. All right, there we are. The spring flower, mixed media, color pencil, acrylic. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you come down. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and come back and see me. Bye, guys.